e ho'ila, e ho'i mai nei, ilala oe e nei, e ho'ila.
Eric Gilliom and Brian Cohen joins us here on the show. Gentlemen, aloha.
How's it?
Wow, what a way to open the show here. First of all, Eric, it has been a little while since I've seen you. Brian, it's been even longer. Tell me about this show. The show has been running for a bit now, right, Eric?
Yeah, the show opened in 2019 at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center and has been running on and off since post-pandemic. But now we're in for the long haul. Yeah, it's a show that I co-wrote with my long time friend and high school classmate, Brian Cohen from Baldwin High School. And yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with the show.
Brian, tell me more about the show from your point of view.
You know, we had a good time. Eric came up with an idea. He really wanted to do a one-man show. As a lot of people in Hawaii don't know, that Eric's history is really in theater. He's a classically trained theater performer, and he came to me, and we hadn't worked on anything for a while. We sat down. This is prior to the pandemic, and took about a year to put the show together. But once we launched it, it's been nothing but sellouts and fun. And we're happy that the show's survived the pandemic, and as Eric mentioned, it's now in an extended run, and we're hoping to continue to expand it to other islands as well.
Eric, you've had thousands come into the show, and so they probably don't know what to expect. What are some of the reactions you've had as people are leaving the show?
Oh man, it's been a mixed bag of great reactions. The show is autobiographical. It's about my family history and how I am indeed a white Hawaiian. We go back to the turn of the century. We start with my great-grandparents and how they met. My great-grandfather was a bare-fisted boxer from San Francisco, and met my great-grandmother Hanaiali'i in Kahului Harbor, and that's where the story picks up. And we go chronologically through all of these amazing characters till you get to me in the family tree. The show has all these beautiful interstitial films that was created by our wonderful friend Adi Elad, who's a great Hollywood editor. And the show's just got a lot of deep, rich Hawaiian cultural history. It's my history. It's my family legacy, and you get to see Hawaii through the eyes of a family of entertainers.
Speaking of a family of entertainers, do you dive into your sister, since all of us seem to know your sister from either entertainment, recording artist, et cetera, et cetera? How does Amy fit into all this?
Oh, quite wonderfully. My sister, Amy Hanaiali'i, as we all know, she definitely, there's a moment where I do play her in the show, and I wasn't sure how she was going to react, but she's embraced it quite wonderfully, and it's quite frankly one of the funniest moments of the show.
Brian, you've worked with, of course, Eric for years and years and years, but you also worked with him when he was with Willie K and the Barefoot Natives. How is working with this guy, Eric Gilliom, and Willie back in those days, and how have you seen him grow as an artist, as an entertainer, as somebody who can touch people?
Yeah, Eric's been doing theater forever, and music was something that he added to his repertoire over time. So the real growth that I've seen in the course of his life was, going from a dynamic musical theater, song and dance, dramatic performer to becoming a first-rate musician. I think a lot of that came about prior to when we paired Eric with Willie and the Barefoot Natives. Eric was playing with Barry Flanagan and just really just honed his chops as a rhythm guitar player first and foremost. And well, with Willie and Eric, what we had two dynamic entertainers that, when paired, 1 + 1 = 3. And so for me, as a comedian primarily, and a comedic producer and writer, working with the two of them was a dream, because I had two performers that would pretty much do anything that I could think of. They would give it a try. So like everybody in Hawaii, Eric and I, we deeply miss Uncle Willie. every single day. And this show really keeps his spirit alive. He would love this show. He really would love this show. So, yeah.
I want to ask you, has this show evolved? Do you find stuff that suddenly works on stage and then you try it in the audience and all of a sudden it blows up and becomes a permanent part of the show? I'm guessing that it evolves as it goes. Eric?
Yeah, for sure. When we first wrote this piece and it came out in 2019, it was a much more personal piece. There were names and places of people that were identified specifically, but now the show is kind of morphed towards a more general audience where the names aren't important. It's more about the story and about the deep, rich characters. And the show is really ultimately about relationships. It's about a relationship really between me and my dad, who was an extraordinarily awesome human being, and my mom too. So the show has definitely evolved in that respect. It's gotten more fine tuned, and honestly, man, it's just a really wonderful piece for me to be able to play night after night to these audiences and share my story, my life.
All right. Once again, that's on the island of Maui. Give me the lowdown, the who, what, where, why, and when, and how we get tickets to go.
Tickets at whitehawaiian.com. The show will be playing. Well, it plays 4 nights a month on Maui in Kihei at a little theater. Seats about 100 people. Pro Arts, beautiful space for a little show like this. John Cruz plays in this venue as well on the weekly. So go to whitehawaiian.com. You can get more information and get tickets. And tickets are on sale not only for the shows that are going down at the end of this month, but there's going to be 4 shows every month for the rest of the year. And as I mentioned, we're working on opening on other islands. So certainly stay tuned for your chance to see White Hawaiian if you're not going to be on Maui anytime soon.
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to give you the last word, Eric. What do you want audiences to know right now about White Hawaiian?
I want them to know that this is a wonderfully entertaining piece, not only to perform, but to share with people. It's my life story, and to bring all of the richness of the Hawaiian culture to people through the eyes of my family.
All right. Go ahead and get your tickets. White Hawaiian. It's on the island of Maui now and soon to come other places.
A 2, a 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and aloha! Our story begins in 1902 on the shores of Kahului Harbor.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
We knew we were Hawaiian from the pua. The family secret. Your great-grandfather told your grandmother, and your grandmother told me. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
I was terrified. Well, it's bad enough that he's so...
Hey, you a local boy? White Hawaiian.
A Hawaiian.